I've just recently finished reading Indiana Jones and the Army of the Dead, written by Steve Perry in 2009. It was published as sort of a tie-in book to the movie Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because it features the character of Mac, but this book is set prior to Crystal Skull being set in 1943. I did really enjoy this book, and it is the final Indiana Jones novel that I'm going to read. I am aware that there were some German language novels written, but I've read all 12 of the Bantam books and then this final book, so this is going to be my final sort of adventure in the Indiana Jones novel universe. It did receive a lot of negative reviews back in the day, and it is regarded by fans to be pretty terrible and one of the worst books, but I have to dispute that. I really quite enjoyed this book. It's quite different, but I quite enjoyed that aspect of it. It's not the best, of course, but it's certainly a worthy adventure in the novel series, and yeah, I enjoyed this book. It basically features Indiana Jones and Mac on leave from the armed forces in World War II. They travel to Haiti and then onto the island of the dead to find the Heart of Darkness, to, in their own words, put it in a museum. But unbeknown to them, they are being followed by German and Japanese spies, both trying to find the Heart of Darkness for their own purposes because of the legend surrounding the artifact that it sort of grants invulnerability and essentially an invincible army because World War II is coming to an end and they want sort of a last ditch attempt to achieve victory. So they are sent to find this Heart of Darkness in hopes of doing so. There is also sort of like a voodoo priest on the island called Bookman. He has created this zombie army of his own through potions and what he calls children of the potion, which is like putting somebody under a spell to like do as he commands and stuff. So sort of like a an army of zombie slaves in that respect, but he also has the power to raise the true undead, the more traditional kind of risen from the grave zombie. This voodoo priest seeks the heart of darkness to gain more power and his own conquest of power. He wants to make an invincible army, hundreds of thousands of these zombies to ultimately control the world. It is not your traditional classic indie adventure. There's no sort of open and action sequence and then the story. We're just thrown straight into the main plot straight away from page one. And then as you get on reading the book, it sort of splits into four interconnecting subplots because it follows obviously Indiana Jones and Mac, the Japanese, the German, and the voodoo priest. Some say it takes away the focus from Indiana Jones too much, but I didn't think so. I thought it was quite evenly balanced, to be fair. Each chapter has multiple sections where it'll go back and forth between four parties, or some chapters might be dedicated to one particular party alone. But each subplot was interesting enough to follow, right through to the end, and I thought it worked quite well, to be honest. It can be quite slow in places. There's a lot of jungle trekking. You know, all the parties of this book are working their way through the jungle. The German and Japanese are following Indiana, and then you've got the voodoo priest up to his own thing. And don't expect exploring caves and catacombs and ancient temples and investigating. That doesn't really happen at all in this book. It's literally going from point A to point B and challenges along the way. It's not really that classic archaeological Indiana Jones investigations sort of globe-trotting adventure. It's not that at all. But there is one awesome action sequence that I really enjoyed in this book. It's where Indiana and his team are taking shelter in a small village, and then this is where they encounter the zombies for the first time. They are woken up by a banging on the door in the middle of the night by zombies trying to get in. And this just gave me such zombie flesh eaters vibes. I thought it was a truly great, tense, exciting moment. And there's also another great action scene where Indy and his group are floating down a fast flowing river in order to escape the zombie horde. I thought that was quite a really well paced, exhilarating sequence. I thought that was probably one of the highlights of the story. It's also very Temple of Doom esque as it dives into many supernatural elements, and this voodoo priest Bookman just reminded me of Mola Ram from the Temple of Doom. It's a very different Indiana Jones novel, and it may touch too much into that supernatural for some readers. Indiana Jones has always had that supernatural element, but some believe this book goes too far. But I didn't mind that. I thought it worked quite well. I quite enjoyed it. There are many great action moments and tense sequences, which never really made it a dull read for me. Was it the best in the series? No, but it was just another welcome addition to the Indiana Jones novel universe. It's just a shame that it never really caught on the way Star Wars novels did. But it's a perfectly fine adventure novel. I didn't have too many problems with it. It's just, as I say, it's just a shame that they didn't really make any more of these, apart from the Bantam books. And then this was sort of like the last most well known Indiana Jones book published. This month marks my 1 year anniversary since making my first YouTube video, so I just want to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers and for your continued support, and welcome to any new subscribers to my channel. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the content. Please stay tuned for more. If you're not already subscribed, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon in the next one.